Hi, welcome back. So this should hopefully be the last experiment that we're making with these chips. And so what we're going to do now is try to install that guy here, purchased from AliExpress, that says decrypted chip install can charging and touching directly. I would make a joke about the Leering Center, but it's so we're going to install them on our 15 plus board. They're here. What to say? So this is the very original one, and I did flashback the original ROM into it, so so that we get everything as stock as possible. So let's do this. So there's our guy. What does it say? So it says, so SN 2012-027 A12, and my original one is this one here. It also says A12. So it seems to be the exact same revision, but of course it is a different chip. So let's install it. So the expected behavior would be no charging, no touch, no USB communication. Let's see. All right. Let me give you my desktop. See the Finder window, see what it says. And connect it to the computer. So right now, normally, if the chip was not able to boot, we would have a DFU device that appears on in the Finder, and that is not the case. We have I don't know if you can see, but we have charging here. Well, I mean, we have the charging icon that turns on, so there is a response to connecting it. Touch works. And let's see what, I'm curious to see what 3utools says about it. So USB communication works. Serial number is correct. And ECID, I believe, is the correct one. And now I'm curious to see what the ECID of the chip is. And after that, we're gonna see if Apple accepts to flash it. So I'm 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm trying to put it in DFU mode so I can read the ACE3's ECID. So that apparently didn't work. So I must have missed my timing on the DFU. No, it doesn't want to turn on anymore. Oh, wait, I have here, iPhone shows up. Oh. So it doesn't want to turn on. Let's try again to force reboot it. Ah, so it is rebooting. All right, so this seems to be stuck again, so I'm gonna relaunch the Finder. So the iPhone is detected again, so let's try again to put it in DFU mode. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. So either I'm messing up my timing or it really doesn't want to go into DFU mode. I'm gonna try again. So I'm gonna try this time. I'm gonna put it first in recovery and then try to go into DFU from recovery. We'll see. All right. And one, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Nope, it really doesn't want to go into DFU. So this ACE chip doesn't accept the DFU button sequence, apparently. Okay, well, let's flash it. Okay, so the phone restores successfully. Touch works. You must have seen that I tried to detect it with 3U tools, and USB communication seems to work. It seems to be charging. So the flash went through without a problem. And I don't know where this chip where this chip comes from. So now now that it was flashed, maybe it was a firmware, like a ROM firmware problem that prevented it from going to DFU. So let's try again. And if I can't put it into DFU manually, I'm going to try to put it in DFU from this Mac using Mac VDM tool. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. No, so it definitely doesn't want to go into DFU mode. So I don't know what these chips do. They seem to work perfectly for USB and for touch. They don't. They work immediately as soon as they're installed, but they don't want to go into DFU. So here I'm gonna mirror this screen here. So first turn it off. Wait a few seconds for it to be completely off and see if I can. All right. All right, so now, okay. So I was able to force the chip in DFU mode. So I'm gonna go back to my normal computer. All right, so that's this I don't need, hopefully I don't need anymore. So stop mirroring. Let's put this away. And turn this off. All right, so now the chip is in DFU mode. Let's see if it has an ECID or... Yeah, so the chip has absolutely no information about it. And that is maybe what makes it work with any ROM. Like, okay. So that is really interesting. So since it has no device info, I'm pretty much expecting that it won't be able, like if I try to give it an 15 plus firmware, it won't go through, but let's try this. All right, so I was able to restore it successfully, and I'm gonna try one last time to put it manually into DFU mode. If maybe something happened during this flash, we'll see. And if it doesn't work, we'll call it a day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so it doesn't work. So, so I'm not spending more time on this. I believe we more or less have an idea of what's happening with these chips. So they seem to be a pretty good compromise because apparently you install them and they work right away with what's already on the phone. You don't need to flash the device. You don't need to transfer any ROM or program any ROM. So and then the device works. There's only one issue, which is the device works and it can flash through Apple, which is actually the important part. The only issue is that you cannot put it in DFU mode manually. the device will refuse. So most probably it is due to what we just saw, that this chip has absolutely no identification, and somehow the system must not like this. However, using MacVDM tool, as I just did with my other MacBook, I am able to force the device into DFU mode and then flash it. So the ability to get to DFU mode is important for multiple reasons, because first of all, because sometimes the device will not flash from restore mode, but will flash from DFU mode because there's a problem with the iBoot or something like this. And also, if you want to upgrade, for example, the SSD on a phone, you upgrade the NAND, you will have to flash from DFU mode, because since the NAND has been replaced, the new NAND doesn't have the correct iBoot, and then the phone will start automatically in DFU mode and request a flash. But if you cannot detect it in DFU mode from the computer, because the chip itself refuses to go into port DFU. So basically the device will be in DFU mode because it has no NAND, but the chip will not be in port DFU, and therefore will not accept an OS. But using MacVDM tool, like I just did, you will be able to force the chip into DFU mode and then force an update. This is what I didn't try it, but this is basically how I think it will happen if you want to upgrade the storage on your iPhone. So, I mean, of course, this is just a test done in in 40 minutes. The device is iCloud locked, so I cannot check that everything works perfectly as it should. But I mean, there is no reason, there's nothing that indicates that there's an issue. The only issue that was noticeable was the inability for the chip to go into port DFU. But this can be circumvented through the MacVDM tool. So, so far, this seems to be the best solution if you do not have a donor board from the same model and with the same chip revision. Remember, we just saw that P's and SNs cannot be swapped. So basically, same model, same revision seems to work without any problem. And with these chips from AliExpress, which claim to be unencrypted, everything works except that you have to force DFU using MacVDM tool. So anyway, that's all I got for you today, and thank you for watching.